All right, the Houston Rockets beat the Cleveland Cavaliers 109 to 108. Before we get into the roller coaster of a minute that was the last minute of the game, let's go with the box score. Fred VanVleet 26 and 5, Sengun 18 points, 11 rebounds. Amen Thompson 16 and 16 with 4 steals. Donovan Mitchell had 19 points. Darius Garland 26 points, 5 assists, 2 big missed free throws, and Jared Allen with 17 and 13. Kwab, what a weird game. What a weird ending. I'll say that. What a weird ending. It was a good game. Weird ending. A lot of referees involved. A lot of let's go to the scores table and see what really happened involved. A lot of just from a viewer standpoint, it was a close game. It was an exciting game, but I see why people just hate the reviews and their instant replays of it all. Even though I do think it's important to get these things correct, it did take away from the excitement for me just a little bit, I guess. But overall, I technically, the refs got everything right, in my opinion.
They got everything right. So that's why I kind of don't have a problem with it because they got everything right.
So what are you going to say at the end of the day? Like, Tari Eason got under Darius Garland, didn't give him room to land.
Yep.
Sengun was fouled, but Sengun fouled Jared Allen first. Let's be honest. That one call for me was just kind of like, I could have lived without that. Sengun got the rebound. It wasn't like you had to make that call. You know, like Allen might have fouled him, but by the time he fouled him, Sengun had the ball. It wasn't like he impeded anything. I think you could kind of let that go. But overall, a fun game, a good game, a game that I think the Rockets deserved to win. I thought they were the better team for most of the game. Just transparently, I think they should have won that game. Outside of that huge run that the Cavs had in the fourth, I thought the Rockets, they handled the zone well at times throughout the game whenever the Cavs went zone. Their second unit, Jason Tate, Tari Eason in the first half, and I'm missing someone. Cam Whitmore.
Yep.
I think they kind of flipped the game because Cleveland came out early and was leading early, and then when they got in, Tari Eason picking up half court, adding defensive pressure there, picking up the pace, and then I guess Houston is just way more athletic, especially the second unit, just dominated the second unit there, and I think that's what flipped the vibe of the game. And Fred VanVleet, to me, was the player of the game for Houston. Anytime they needed a timely bucket, Fred was there. Timely threes in the beginning before the Cavs can kind of pull away. Anytime the Cavs went up like 6 or 8, Fred was there. He had some big threes in the fourth as well. So I thought Houston was the better team all game. Your overall thoughts?
I agree with you with that big run that the Rockets bench made in the first quarter, throughout the first half, when there was like you said, Jason Tate, Tari Eason, and Cam Whitmore. They kind of changed the game, and they were ridiculous in terms of some of the plays that were making, alley-oops, running the floor. And
the kids, baby. It's fun.
It's fun. They're usually that lineup also has Amen Thompson, but he's starting now. So, but he played a couple of minutes. He played some minutes with them, and that's usually when Houston looks like their best, when they're running, they're getting up and down the floor, they're getting stops, and they're in transition, and they get easy buckets. I was throughout the start of the game, I was interested in seeing the matchup with Jared Allen and Sengun, especially since Mobley was out. I figured it would be like this is what these old school fans want. You want to center a big man matchup, you know what I mean?
Banging bodies,
and throwing a post.
I mean, Sengun was doing that.
Exactly. That's what he was getting to it. So as that was progressing, I was like, okay, well, when are the Cavs going to play zone? Or when they're going to show more bodies or show more doubles? Because Jared Allen looked like he was struggling a lot of plays with that. When the Cavs did go zone in that fourth quarter, actually, I'll say this: they went zone probably 1 or 2 times in the third quarter, and they got a turnover. So I was like, okay, man.
Well, they went zone for a lot of the third.
I saw the early on. They went zone early on in the third.
Sorry.
Early on in the third, and they got a turnover. And I was like, okay, well, how much are they going to stay in the zone moving forward? And in the fourth, they were exclusively zone. And the problem we've talked about every time we've recapped the Rockets game is like the stupid turnover. I don't want to say stupid, but the kind of like the reckless turnovers, the question mark turnovers that happen. And there were a bunch of those that happened. Like Fred VanVleet had a great game, but there was like 3-4 plays. I was like, bro, what are you doing? Like, where are you going? And it happened a couple of times, which led to the Cavs comeback, and then ended up being a close game, the back and forth, and then the very interesting ending that happened with Darius Garland, who's usually a 90% free throw shooter, missing all these free throws. Not even at the end of the game, throughout the course of the game, he missed a lot of free
He's
throws,
three
which
for
was
eight.
shocking. Which
3
is
for 8 from the
shocking.
free throw line.
He's one of the best free throw shooters in the league, and he missed a bunch of them, including the crucial two that would have basically won them the game. Overall, like it's a good game for the Rockets. It felt like they were in control the whole time, especially after they made the run.
And Cleveland's offense seemed like it was just searching for some type of identity. They're missing Mobley, they're missing LeVert, they're missing Okoro, and I think you didn't have that typical high-low action. You didn't have like the dribble handoff action with Mobley initiating that. You didn't have like an inverted pick and roll. There are a lot of things they didn't have that is in their typical offense. And then at the same time, they weren't hitting open threes.
Yeah.
So even when they were getting open threes, for the most part, they did hit some in the fourth quarter there during their run, but they missed a lot of open threes. Even when they got offensive rebounds, they missed some threes.
They got a lot of offensive rebounds, by the way, throughout the course of that.
But Houston, they packed the paint. I thought Houston played good defense. I thought they protected the rim really well.
Yeah.
Floaters in the lane by Mitchell and Garland were always contested. There were a few times they tried lobs to Allen, and it just either went awry or just weren't there because they were protecting the rim. They gave up some open threes, but I still think they played good defense. Amen Thompson had 4 steals. They got some transition buckets. So overall, I thought Houston played good defense.
The Jared Allen foul on Sengun, I was surprised that was called, but it was a foul. It was a foul.
It was.
He fouled him. And props to Sengun. Sometimes he's been struggling on the free throw line. He went up there and he knocked him down. Darius Garland. You see how that looks like to go up there. And
Learn from a big guy, Darius.
But like regardless of who was out for the Cavs, I know people are going to be in the comments and be like, "Oh my God!" Like we get it. A lot Mobley didn't play. A lot of people didn't play. Whatever. But I think this game showcased how deep both teams are in terms of the players that they were able to plug in and still were very effective. Like, me, I always talk about Ty Jerome. And
Ty had a good game.
And he always has a good game. Ty Jerome always has a good game. Ty Jerome always has a good game. It always happens. But the Rockets bench changed the course of the game, and even Steven Adams. Well, we didn't even mention Steven Adams.
Steven played well, and then also when the Cavs went in zone, there were moments where Houston actually played well against the zone, and that's because they pushed the zone up so high that the middle was so open, it was just absurdly open. And there were floaters in the lane that the Rockets were hitting. Just Amen hit a couple floaters. I know Sengun did too. So it was almost just kind of you're playing zone, but you're giving them too much space in the middle. And Houston did a pretty good job at times, not the whole time, at times of exploiting how much space, the Cavs were giving them. Credit to the Rockets, man. And I know, listen, if I'm a Cavs fan, again, you're going to catch L's in this league. Catching an L to the team that's second in the West is not a bad thing, especially when you're missing Mobley. And if you're a Rockets fan, you should be proud of this win. Who cares if they didn't have Mobley? You know what I mean? This is a team that doesn't even have double-digit losses on the season, and they have been beating teams without Mobley. They beat the T-Wolves. They beat the Suns. It's not like they were 0-2 in the games without Mobley. They were undefeated without Mobley the past 2 games.
And
so
they almost beat y'all. So they almost beat y'all if some free throws also would have went in. I guess I'll say this with the Rockets, they gotta clean up the turnovers, and I'll keep saying that every game.
I don't think that's gonna happen this year.
It needs to happen.
I think that's in their DNA.
You're I have no faith in that happening this year. And you know what? Not
Jalen
even,
Green was
I'll
bad.
say this: crucial part.
We had a bad Jalen Green day.
Yeah.
He was good. He had pockets, and actually the pockets that he played well were huge. First half was brutal. He had his first shot of the game. Then after that, he was just couldn't. He was getting to the rim but couldn't finish. Had a few turnovers. Yeah, I think that men too had 4 turnovers too. Tari Eason had a little bit of a sloppy game, even though he played well in spots in the first half. That's who they are, Kwab. I
was gonna say with Jalen Green having a bad game, not a bad game, but you saw how much that led to Fred kind of stepping up and taking more shots and being more aggressive during this. How well Jalen Green has been playing this stretch since the beginning of the year. Fred has kind of taken a step back, and this was the game he was like, "Nah, I'm gonna get my shit off," and he did. I get it. I know what you're saying. This is who they are, but during crucial times of the game, you can't just throw away the look, man. They were up. What was it, 13 or 16 in the fourth? It was up. They were up by a lot, and a lot of those turnovers they had. Yes, the Cavs were in zone, but a lot of those were like you were just handing them the ball. You're just giving up the ball, and that's why the Cavs made a comeback. Like they should have been able to sustain the lead and just push forward. A really good team, learns from this and learns to sustain the lead. I think that they need to keep. You got that look on your face, like,
I mean, they're a good team.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, no team is perfect.
No,
You know
I'm
what I
not.
mean? Like,
I'm not saying you're not a good team. I'm not
Yeah.
saying you're not a good team, but they need to learn from these type of things and then get better at it. Because in crucial times, they can't just give up the ball. I think that's one thing that's been affecting them throughout the course of the year. It's something that's easy to me. It's easy to clean up. It's not like when we talked about them in earlier episodes. We're worried about their shooting. That's
shoot the ball well. Man, every Rocket game we've done the past like 3 or 4 times,
You know what I mean?
they've shot like 44%, 50%.
knocking it down.
Yeah, they shot well today too.
Yeah, fully addressed. So I'm like, with turnovers, just got to be smarter. You got to play smarter, and play better. And and I think that would help them moving forward, especially in the playoffs when the game slows down and all that happens. So
Yeah, they're too prone, especially in the half court. They're too prone to go too cold and get too sloppy. And I don't know what the exact run is for the Cavs, but I think they scored like 14 straight unanswered points.
Yeah.
And the Rockets are too prone to that. But listen, great win for them. They win by 109 to 108. Kwab and I will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow is Celtics Lakers. Is that tomorrow? And then we got Rockets Cavs again on Saturday.
Okay.
Rematch in Cleveland.
Rematch.
So looking forward to that. Hopefully Moby plays. That'd be fun. All right, everybody. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like the video, comment, all that good stuff. We'll see you soon for another episode of Dime. Peace.